Did you know that the most nominated actor or actress all time for the Golden Globes is Meryl Streep? Do you know how many times she's been nominated? Is it 12 times, Kevin? No. 19 times? 25 times? No, you're crazy. 33. Meryl Streep has been nominated for 33 times for the Golden Globes. And she's only won 9 times. You would think she won 12, double digits someplace. No, she's won it 9 times. And one of those wins is the Cecil B. DeMille Award. The Cecil B. DeMille Award is basically the Lifetime Achievement Award. She won that in 2017. Denzel Washington won in 2016. So really the best actors of their generation won it back to back. So that's very cool. So yeah, she's been nominated for 33 nominations, man. And it's funny because she won her first one with Kramer versus Kramer. Her first film role is The Deer Hunter. So that was 1978. So when you say 33 times, what the hell? She started in films in 1978. She was nominated. She only got one Tony Award nomination. And the one Tony nomination she ever had was in 1976 because she doesn't do Broadway and things like that. But in the beginning, she was a theater actress. One Tony. In fact, I was like, man, did she even have an EGOT? So no, she only been nominated once for a Tony. That was 76. She's been nominated for Grammys for spoken word albums. She never won. She's won Emmys. She's won BAFTA awards. She's won Oscars, but she's won a Golden Globe, but she's never won. But she's not an EGOT. It's weird because John Legend has an EGOT. John Legend has an EGOT, and Meryl Streep doesn't. Doesn't really make much sense. So yeah, Kramer versus Kramer was her first win for the Golden Globes. She wins that, and then the next time she wins, she's nominated. She wins for The French Lieutenant's Woman, and the next time after that she's nominated, she wins for Sophie's Choice. So she went three in a row. Kramer versus Kramer with the great Dustin Hoffman, French Lieutenant's Woman, and for Sophie's Choice with Kevin Kline. Then nothing. She doesn't win again until 2003 for Adaptation. I can only imagine her going to these award shows and she started losing a couple of times. Once we get past Sophie's Choice, I think she feels like, okay, they gave me 3 in a row. For the next 3 years or so, I might be doing some good work. Then I feel like that's fine, right? But man, nothing for the rest of the 80s and nothing for the 90s. Often when I see Meryl Streep at these award shows, I look at her as wow, she's just wearing a regular dress. She's not even dressing up. It's man, you know how many times she probably was all dolled up that she looked great? The people say, oh my God, people say, oh, she had the best outfit of the night. Or, oh, look how beautiful Meryl Streep is. And she went home a loser. She was like, nah, I am not dressing up for y'all no more. I am not getting my hair done. I am not spending all this money on hair and makeup and getting this gown made. And y'all ain't gonna give me nothing. Oh no, I ain't doing this no more. I'll show up, eat the food, and have a good time and drink. But I am not dressing up for y'all no more. Yeah, that's crazy, man. She went 20 years without winning another Golden Globe. And then she wins, and her last Golden Globe in the competitive category was Adaptation in 2012. I'm not Adaptation. Iron Lady. She won for Iron Lady in 2012. And that was the last time she won. She was nominated for Only Murders in the Building in 2024. She was nominated for that, but she didn't win. And I'm still curious because there's no confirmation. Because there's always been rumors that her and Martin Short has been dating. And they never confirmed it. And for Martin Short, because Martin Short doesn't win Tonys. Only Murders in the Building overall should have won something, right? Over all these years, Steve Martin should have won something. Martin should have won certain. The show should have won. They never won. But man, if he got, Meryl Streep, if you told Ed Grimley for NCTV that one day he'd be dating Meryl Streep, it's you must be crazy. There's no way I could date Meryl Streep with this hair. Shout out to Martin Short if he is really dating Meryl Streep, but I think he is. So we're talking about Meryl Streep. Tell me, what is your favorite Meryl Streep movie? And what is her most underrated movie? I know it's hard to say. It's funny because once we get into the 90s Meryl Streep, she starts doing more comedies. And she did Death Becomes Her, which was a flop. but she did it with Goldie Hawn and Bruce Willis. And now that show is on Broadway. You know, it'd be nice if she was a producer on that. I don't think she is. But yeah, when it comes to Meryl Streep, and Meryl Streep's kind of interesting too, before I go, because she's kind of flirty. Like when you see her like in Sophie's Choice or The French Lieutenant's Woman, like so all these serious roles she's been in, you think, oh man, she's super serious. But when you see her in interviews, like I talked about how Pam Anderson, even Angelina Jolie are super sexy chicks, and how Pam Anderson always plays with her hair. Like even now, she still plays with her hair because that's who she is. If you look at Meryl Streep, she does the same thing. Like she's very much like Pam Anderson, where she has a very girly laugh. She always seems to have fun. She plays up her hair a lot. It's almost like she's almost like a shy, flirty version of what Pam Anderson is, right? So, I can see dudes on the set saying, man, because she was married for a long time. So I can see dudes on the set say, man, I think she likes me. It's like, no, I think she's just behind the scenes. I think she's just a very flirty chick, which doesn't come off so much in the films because she's such a serious actor. And here's a tip for all you actors and actresses out there. If you want to be like Denzel, if you want to be like Meryl Streep, I would say study all their early work and try to find old interviews by them when they talked about the craft of acting. These people live and die by the script. They just immerse themselves in those characters. They do research. If Meryl Streep was just excellent, the only fault of Denzel Washington is that he doesn't do dialects well. He's okay with it. He can do it, but it's not as well. Meryl Streep, when she was at her peak, when she really did a deep dive into accents, I mean, she really, truly worked on those accents, man. Doesn't matter if it's Southern or if it's British, like no matter what it was, man, she really dove deep into the script and into that role and the character that she's playing. So if I have any information, and I'm not an actor, I'm not an acting coach, I'm not anything, I'm just a guy who loves cinema. Go do yourself a favor and watch like her best performances. Even throw in like The Devil Wears Prada. Like I'm surprised she didn't win for The Devil Wears Prada because she was excellent in that. But really watch like old interviews and find interviews where they talked about their preparation, like Meryl, Denzel, Pacino, whoever it is, and just study what they say. Watch like Inside the Actor's Studio and just study how they prepare for a role. Like some people, they observe people. Some people, they watch footage of, if they're playing like a real life person, they watch footage of that person. Or they get dialect coaches, or people say like, oh, I just walked around with headphones on, learning that dialect over and over and over again, like to get that right. I remember I had this thing about Colin Farrell for his role as Oz in The Penguin. And he was saying there was a box of tapes that his dialect coach had of these people from New York in the 80s. And there was a guy, that was a supervisor of a building, and he talked like this. And Colin Farrell said, "That's the voice. That's the voice I want for Oz Cobb. That voice right there." And if you take that voice that he did away from Oz Cobb, I don't know if the Penguin would be the same without that voice. And Meryl Streep was one of those people that taught when people like Colin Farrell or people even like Denzel would watch her, it's like, wow, I got to be as good as she is. Meryl Streep might not be the best actress of her generation. She might actually be the best actor overall of her generation, male or female. And that's a lot, but that's the dedication to the craft. That's the dedication to the work. She has a theater background. Tom Hanks has a theater background. Denzel has a theater background. And it doesn't mean you don't have to have that. Leonardo DiCaprio didn't have a theater background. He's great. So you don't have to have that. Sometimes it's just instinctual. But I do think if you want to take this seriously, learning the craft of acting from a theater background might be part of it. Doesn't have to be the whole thing, but just part of it. So that's my tip. So of all Meryl Streep's roles, what do you think is her best role? And what do you think is her most underrated? And do you agree with me? Do I think that she's flirty? I might have to put her on the list with Helen Mirren. Helen Mirren's very flirty for an older gal. I think Meryl Streep is right up there with her.